Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Kind of a special one here as we've got owner Greg Odde joining us and, of course, head coach Scott Langer. I'm Jay Klein-Connect. And, folks, coming out of the Easter weekend, I hope that you guys had a chance to enjoy some quality time with family and got some good food. How was your Easters?
Yeah, it was good. Time with the family, spent time with the kids, went to the big buffet, and that was about it.
Right on. Greg?
Couldn't have been any better. Went to church on Thursday and Sunday, and as Christians we celebrate the rising of our Savior and the forgiveness of our sins. I mean, we couldn't be any better at it.
Yeah, it's again a great day for sure, and hopefully you got a chance to enjoy that. Not necessarily the best weekend for the Wings, but a situation where there is no sense in dwelling on it. And like with many things in life, you have to push past it and just move on. And so that's what we're going to do, because we've got a lot of things to look forward to, a lot of things that are coming up here at the Odde Ice Center, at the Shriner Center, and the nuts and bolts kind of all of this are going to be shared at the end of this show, but we do have a home weekend, the final regular season home weekend to look forward to against Austin. Looking forward to packing the house and getting a bunch of people out here, and the crowds have been fantastic, and they've been so supportive and everything, and that's been awesome for sure. But then on top of that, you've got a jersey auction coming up with Jark Worley auction at the end of Saturday night there. So a big final regular season home weekend here at the Odde Ice Center that we're really looking forward to.
Don't forget the banquet.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get there. I got some details on that.
Ruin the program already.
I'm going to get to.
We're not going to forget anything today.
I've got a list of notes here.
I am when I call you and text you during the game whenever I think you missed something.
Well, I always know that it's coming from a good source. I know that it's accurate for sure when I get those messages.
Meant in good spirit.
Yeah, but they we really encourage people to come on out to the Odde Ice Center. At this time of the year, there's not a whole heck of a lot else going on. It's obviously spring, and it sounds like 67 degrees for Friday, so I'm sure it's going to be nice, but a great opportunity to come out and support the team. And I know that both of you really appreciate the crowds coming out and all the support the community gives you.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about Aberdeen is the good, the bad, the ugly. They're there to support us, and we utilize that in our recruiting trail. Mm-hmm. So it's great to have that support.
Yeah, looking forward to that again. That's coming up, and I'll give you the times and dates and all that stuff here in just a little bit. But we've got that to look forward to. As Greg just mentioned, the Awards Banquet coming up on Sunday, and again the times and the nuts and bolts, as I like to say, of that coming up at the end of the show. But it's a great opportunity to showcase the positivity and to reward the guys for the work that they've done. And you have the MVP and the Player of the Year and the Defenseman of the Year and all of those kinds of things. Those awards that go out. It's a great chance for people to, fans, to come out and interact with the players and take part in it. Plus, there's a great meal. You have an opportunity to go home with a Wings glass and, a lot of cool stuff. And I think they're asking for people to buy the tickets before Wednesday so they can plan ahead. But those awards banquets are always a good time, aren't they? And a great way for, us all to kind of interact with the fans.
Oh, yeah, it's... No matter what the season is or the record of the team or whatever, I mean, there's so many pieces and parts that go into making this whole organization work, as you know, and it's just a way to say thank you to a lot of people, not just the players, and can come together and just cap our accomplishments of what we've done together for another year.
Yeah, and it's their community service awards, the Nancy Odde Barrett Award, all of those kinds of awards that are out there that are given to these players that spend their year here, or close to at least a full year here, and are involved in the community and so on. So again, great way to focus and showcase the positivity of the season and of the players and the efforts that these guys all put in, and as we look around the locker room. And again, at the end of this, I'll have a whole bunch of information about, where you can buy tickets and all that kind of stuff. But it is at the Shrine Center from 6 until 8, coming up on Sunday. So really looking forward to that. It's always a good time and a great meal provided as well with that ticket purchase. I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about recruiting and camps and all those things. And Coach, you and I talk about it often. You know, there's really no off season. You know, you're always looking at players. You're always evaluating talent. You're always looking for, you know, who's going to make this team for the next year or the next 2 years. Who might be a captain? We know who knows from 3 years from now, whatever it might be. And there's a lot of opportunities coming up too. Like you've got some scouting opportunities and camps and tryout opportunities. Tell us a little bit about those and how they work.
Well, we have 2 pre-draft camps. One this year is going to be in Hudson, Wisconsin on May 24th through May 26th. And we'll have a second one out in Michigan in Livonia, and that'll be May 31st through June 2nd. Those are camps there where we really get some eyes on some guys that we may not have seen, you know, or guys that are trying to make it to our main camp, you know, which is our final spot where, you know, we pick our team out of. So, but the nice thing about those camps is we have 4 teams in the NAHL at each of those camps. So a player might be coming with Aberdeen, but he's also getting seen by, you know, 3 other teams. So it's a pretty good deal for the players to get in front of a lot of NAHL staff.
For sure. You know, and you know, we've had an opportunity to bring some tenders and visitors in and so on throughout the season at different times, so they can kind of get a feel for the culture and to kind of understand what Aberdeen, the Aberdeen Wings are all about. And Greg, I'll defer to you on this a little bit too, that, you know, not only obviously is the coaching staff watching for the ability, the talent, and all of those things that, you know, that they're looking for in a skater, but there's a whole culture here too, and there's character, you know, that it takes to be an Aberdeen Wing. I don't know exactly how you guys quantify that or how you can look at it when you're looking at players on a camp or whatever else, but that's an important piece too, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. That's like number one in our minds. I mean, yeah, the right. A player from a good family or a young man from a good family is a good start to a good player. And if he doesn't have, you know, just being raised right and that type of thing, you know, it makes a huge difference in what we see in him and how we evaluate him and stuff. And these camps are also very useful for younger players to try out and just get on our radar too.
Sure.
You know, like Scott mentioned, there'll be us and 3 other teams from the NA doing a combination camps, which is something sort of new over the last couple of years, where scouts will be there to see other teams' players and our players, so they get sort of like a triple-double exposure.
Sure.
And on the camp we're having in Hudson, Wisconsin, Watertown actually has agreed to join us, so they're first.
Okay.
It'll probably be the first exposure that the Watertown Shamrocks will have as an organized hockey setting situation, which is sort of exciting for all of us.
Well, and that actually translates nicely into what I was going to bring up next, which was the Watertown. And, you know, the Shamrocks, of course, Coach, I think 2 weeks ago, you and I talked a little bit when that official announcement was made. Their new facility there in Watertown, up and running. They've had a couple of high school games already there, it sounds like, from what I've seen anyway. But I wanted to ask a little bit how much, you know, when they're so close and they're, you know, when, as far as proximity, how much teamwork in a sense, or how much of a partnership has there been? I know early on, you know, Tom Briggle and you talked quite a bit when you first decided to bring the Wings to Aberdeen. You know, there were some exhibition games and different things like that as you were making that decision. How much did Commissioner Frankenfeld, you know, lean on you guys for, you know, a little guidance perhaps, or maybe a little advice? And, you know, I think you guys even maybe talked with the ownership group there or the city council, you know, whatever it might be. You were involved with it.
Yeah, we were from the very beginning. Thanks for bringing my friend Tom Briggle up. He gave us a good dose of humility over the weekend. So to learn from everything you do, right?
Yeah.
And he was a big help in getting the Wings here. Tom was, like you said. He helped me, guided me, shared everything that he opened his whole books up to what, you know, what it took to have it, to put a team on the ice in Aberdeen. And now Aaron and I did the same thing for Watertown, actually down to the point where we're actually finding the first potential owner in Watertown. It's been a year and a half ago, at least. We met with the mayor and the city council down there, and the city manager, and Mark Frankenfeld flew in and just try to get the seed going there, because I feel very strongly that Watertown's a perfect spot for an NA team. I mean, it's a growing, smaller community with no major college influence there and that. And so, yeah, we've been helping them, and Scott now has been helping them. We're going to help them to a certain point, okay?
Yeah, let's not get too far. They're still competitors.
Successful we'll be as successful as they are. So it's pretty cool, and it's going to be, we're already planning bus trips for next season. We've got the extra bus that worked well to go to Brookings and back, but not so well to Bismarck, and it should work perfectly for down there. So I think it'll be just a great rivalry.
And I remember years ago when Brookings still had the blizzard there, and you and I actually talked, I think in Brookings, about how Watertown would be a good fit because of the fact that they don't have SDSU there the way Brookings does. They don't have a lot of competing factors, and it's a pretty darn good hockey community with the Lakers and everything, and the high school organization that they've had. I remember seeing in Brookings, Watertown, sweaters and jackets and stuff that would come down there. So I gotta believe that is going to be a really good fit, and we welcome the Shamrocks, and it's exciting for certainly the North American Hockey League, but for the Central Division in particular, it's going to cut down travel for North Iowa, for Austin, for St. Cloud, for the Aberdeen Wings. Maybe not so much for Minot or Bismarck, but still, it's a great fit, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, it ended up there's one owner from Watertown, which is always great to have local ownership. It makes being here. As we all know, we're all in the same family of friends and circles, and Aberdeen's a great city that everybody works together on. To have fun and business and stuff. But Vince Foley is one of the owners the owner from Watertown, and he's an attorney down there, and he's been involved in the local hockey level there for about as long as I have, or longer. I've known him for many years, and so he's just excited as you can be to. I actually made the phone call to him personally to see if he had interest in starting a team there, being part of it, and sort of. He's giving me the credit for it now, but whatever. I don't take any credit. I don't like taking the credit, but it's been great. It's going to be good.
Well, and Coach Langer, to a degree, as Greg mentioned, that you've no doubt been leaned on in some cases here too. To what degree are you involved? Because that's a little bit of a high wire act. You want to help them, but you don't want to help them. And obviously they're going to be competition eventually, especially. But to get them started and so on, is there any level of advice or anything that you can give to them, or that you have been involved in?
Well, I mean, they've reached out about some potential coaches that I may know and have some feedback on, and obviously we've now included them in our multiple team pre-draft camp, which I think is great. So we're helping them there, get off the ground. But I'm sure I'll know the coach that goes in there eventually. So we. But
all the coaches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there'll be a relationship there, one way or another. So, but I just think Watertown's a perfect fit for us, travel reasons, and to have a couple trips where you're there in an hour and a half or whatever it may be. Those are great. I mean, and that should be a rival, like Greg said. I'm sure that will be some good hockey against one another.
I'll tell you what, my old body is going to be really happy for an hour and a half bus trip versus a 6-hour bus trip. That I can tell you. But, and I talked about this when we mentioned it a couple weeks ago, Coach, but for those of you that may have missed it or whatever, if you're just catching this one, but the Shamrocks name actually apparently comes from a team that actually played in Watertown in the 1920s and traveled to small towns around and kind of did. I mean, it kind of sounds like a Harlem Globetrotters kind of thing, where they went and took on other small towns and kind of were a level above, but they just went out and had fun. That's where the name comes from. I know a lot of people I've seen a lot of people online and stuff too, and people have asked me where that, why are they called that? Well, I thought that little piece of trivia was kind of interesting. All right, again, welcoming Watertown. We've got a lot, again, going on with as we already talked about, the Awards Banquet. Big weekend against Austin. And Coach, that's an important matchup, with no doubt, with Austin, and you guys have been back and forth with them. Can we touch on some keys, and what do you see as some things that you guys need to do, and what does Austin do well? We know they're physical, we know they're skilled, they got good goaltending, all of those kinds of things. How do you, what do you got to do?
Well, I think first we have to take a deep breath and just kind of get back to what we do, this week. And then obviously the most important thing to focus on right now is the first period of the first game. It's both teams are going to be fighting for a playoff spot and a spot in the standings, so it's going to have a playoff atmosphere, I can guarantee you that. And you've got to be up for the challenge against them. They are a physical team. Their goaltending's been good all year, But for us, we have to get back to what we're good at.
Yeah.
Because we've lost a little focus in that department over the last couple weeks. So, we came back, we played really well against North Iowa, and then we hit a lull. So, focus this week is going to be on us.
Moving forward, Austin Bruins coming to town, folks. Like Coach said, going to be a playoff type environment, and like those crucial points are on the line these final 2 weeks, and Austin's hunting for their playoff lives, and now North Iowa mathematically eliminated, who the Wings will see in the last week. But this weekend's going to be huge. So again, folks, come on out, buy the tickets, come on out and cheer on the Aberdeen Wings. I know you guys are both very busy. I won't keep you much longer here unless you've got something else that you wanted to touch on or anything, or if there's something that I might have missed. But I know those were some points that I wanted to make sure and get out there.
Just one thing, on the banquet, we have Nancy goes a lot of work to put together a commemorative glass or goblet or whatever, wine glass or shot whiskey glass or something like that. There will be glass, I believe. If you don't attend, if you want to have an engraved glass, they will be available at the store over the weekend.
Okay.
If you're not, you get one. If you buy a ticket to the banquet, you're entitled to one. It comes with it, and the meal. But if you can't make it and you want a glass, they'll be available for sale.
They're etched glass with the Wings logo and so on it, and they'll be available at the apparel shop. So that is very cool over the weekend. So again, if you can't make the banquet, we hope you do, because it's a lot of fun and a great opportunity to recognize all of these players and so on. But if not, you can pick them up there.
I just have one other thing too. This jersey auction Saturday is for the benefit of the team. Buy sticks, these jerseys, and help goes a long ways to pay expenses to keep this team operational. So, and we'd like to thank Val Jark for all the work he's done in these auctions for us over the years. It's raised one heck of a lot of money, and thank our fans. Thank you so much for everything you do for us.
I don't want to call out anybody else, and I'm not going to list them by name or anything, but I tell you, when I'm sitting there watching these jersey auctions, and these jerseys are going for $1,600, $1,700 or $1,100 or whatever, and you've got people that are bidding against one another, it always amazes me, because what a fantastic souvenir that you're going to keep for a very long time, and we see them walking around the bleachers and the stands at every Wings game. But I can remember going to other buildings and kind of catching part of their jersey auction, and their jerseys were selling for $150, and I'm like, that doesn't even cover the cost of the sweater, really, so that's a testament of how supportive and passionate the Aberdeen Wings fan base is. It's really cool to see that. So awesome. Again, that's coming up Saturday night, and again, we thank Val Jark at Jark Worley Auction for all of the work that he does, and always does a great job. Makes it a lot of fun too. So, all right. Once again, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you taking some time. I know, as I said, I always say, but I know it's true how busy you guys are. So thank you.
I don't get in very often, and probably should, because I take all the time up. But I want to thank you too, Jay, for everything you do.
Well, I appreciate that, Greg. Thank you. Second portion of Wings Weekly coming up with a player, and this time a special player. Kirill Kaprizov is going to be joining us in the second portion of Wings Weekly right after this.
Bar and Event Center is your official home for the Aberdeen Wings. Stop down for an ice-cold beer or drink and choose from one of the many excellent food options on their menu, available for both lunch and dinner. And when your Aberdeen Wings are on the road trying to earn their way back to the Robertson Cup Championship, come on down to City Lights and watch the away games as the audio and video are streamed live. City Lights Bar and Event Center, the official home for the Aberdeen Wings on South 2nd Street, just south of the overpass in Aberdeen.
All right, folks, as we talked about, a lot going on. Looking forward as the Wings continue on in their final weeks of the regular season. We have the final regular season home finale coming up on the 5th and 6th of April against the Austin Bruins. It's First Responders Night. All first responders will receive $5 admission at the door. Corporate game sponsor Glacial Lakes Energy. April 6th against the Austin Bruins once again. And again, that's the finale. Wings away jersey auction. Following the game with auctioneer Val Jark of Jark Worley Auction. Corporate game sponsors with Schwann Financial. The Aberdeen Wings Awards Banquet and Dinner will be held Sunday, April 7th at the Yildiz Shrine Center from 6 until 8. Get your tickets and official Wings 12.5-ounce glasses now by clicking on the QR code on your screen. If you happen to be listening to this on the radio as we broadcast it in the Sports Hub, check it out at the Wings Facebook page there and follow the link. Sponsorships and reserve tickets are now available for the 2024-2025 season. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 for more information. And for all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Kirill Kaprizov apparently couldn't make it. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Have a great one. That'll wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.